Why is Tadao Ando famous? Is it his famous works, including The Church of Light, known for its cross-shaped cutout in its minimalist external concrete walls, or his other minimalist, sometimes brutalist residential schemes such as the row house, 4x4 house, or his Rococo housing scheme, revered by some and considered cold and uninviting by others? How did a child born during the Second World War grow up in a recovering poor post-war Japan, continue with no formal education in architecture, rise to become the world-famous architectural Pritzker Prize winner that we all know today? Born in 1941 in Osaka, Japan, Ando initially trained as a boxer and even considered going pro. Around the age of 15, he became interested in architecture after stumbling upon a book on Le Corbusier, whom he later named his dog after. Inspired, he started sketching and studying his works. Instead of attending university, he educated himself by studying second-hand architecture books while working for a local craftsman to acquire drafting and carpentry skills. In his 20s, he travelled extensively across Europe, the USA, and Africa studying architectural masterpieces firsthand. He visited iconic works by Le Corbusier, Mies van der Rohe, Louis Kahn, and Frank Lloyd Wright, which greatly influenced his minimalist approach. It is the mixture of these Western influences and his traditional Japanese environment that makes his work so outstanding. His travels helped him develop a deep understanding of spatial design, materials, and natural light. In 1969, he founded Tadao Ando Architect & Associates in Osaka, despite having no formal credentials. He started with small residential projects where he experimented with his signature exposed concrete style. Growing up in a narrow, oblong wooden 2-story row house with his grandmother's small shop on the ground floor shaped his view and approach on residential architecture. He's quoted in saying, "Living there, I grew enraged at society and felt inspired to improve living conditions. I feel that my experience in that house provided crucial fuel for my creative energy." This clear inspiration is most apparent in his 1976 row house in Sumiyoshi. In contrast to his timber childhood home, the row house, also known as the Azuma house, is constructed out of raw reinforced concrete. This creates a sense of security, privacy, and timelessness within a dense neighborhood of Osaka, Japan. The building is only 3.3 meters wide on a 57 square meter site, and houses an entrance lobby into a living room, courtyard, kitchen, and bathroom on the ground floor. Up the courtyard steps and along the walkway at first floor level, we are connected to 2 bedrooms. Despite its practical challenges like the exposure to rain, it won the annual prize of the Architectural Institute of Japan in 1979 and proved to be a pivotal turning point in his career. From here, he was offered more freedom in his clients' sites and designs, such as in his 1981 Koshino house, Ashiya. It was here his ability to create minimal yet highly intentional spaces that appear to let light carve out the sturdy concrete walls solidified his architectural style. 4 years after construction, he added a circular extension to the 2 concrete boxes, followed by another internal renovation 25 years later. This speaks to his long-lasting relationship with his clients. His rigorous use of geometry created 3-dimensional labyrinthian spaces which interplay with the light and natural world surrounding them. His Koshino house 1981 gained international recognition, leading to larger commissions and invitations to serve as a visiting professor at Yale, Columbia, and Harvard universities, later taking up a teaching position in the University of Tokyo. Following his successful Church of Water in 1988, which hosted another minimalist yet deeply evocative and spiritual design, he designed his most famous work to date, The Church of Light, 1989. Instead of relying on traditional religious iconography as shown in The Church of Water, Ando here uses light itself as a sacred element. Positioning the cutout precisely to align with the natural sunlight entering the space, the cross comes to life and bathes the room in divine poetic drama. The design forces visitors to experience the contrast between darkness and light, reinforcing spiritual contemplation. The entry is positioned at an angle, forcing visitors to turn upon entering. A deliberate act of transition from the ordinary world to the sacred. The raw, unadorned concrete reflects Ando's commitment to honest, minimalist materials. Apart from the minimal timber seating, there is no altar or further furnishings. This simplicity directs attention away from material distractions and towards the spiritual and metaphysical experience. In 1995, he won the Pritzker Prize, the most prestigious architectural award in the world, for his work masterfully interlocking concrete and light to create space within nature. Success came, but so did challenges. Critics called his work cold, impractical, and too austere. He faced resistance from traditionalists who believed his architecture lacked warmth. Some of his projects struggled with financial constraints and public skepticism. The hardest blow came in 2009 when Ando was diagnosed with cancer. He had to undergo major surgery removing parts of his stomach, gallbladder, and duodenum. Ando, like the fighter he once was, refused to stay down. He recovered, continued to teach, and designed some of the most ambitious projects yet. From the Shitu Art Museum 2004 to the breathtaking Hill of the Buddha 2017. His minimalist approach became more refined, his designs more profound. Tadao Ando is a visionary architect whose work transcends conventional design, blending minimalism, nature, and spirituality in a way that has reshaped the architectural world. Born into humble beginnings in post-war Japan, Ando's self-taught journey, driven by an unrelenting passion for architecture, led him to create some of the most iconic structures of the 20th and 21st centuries.